All right, what's up, YouTube? Um, I'm a Dubs fan. And as you can see, I'm a Niner fan. What Niner fan? Yes, it is on that side. Um, so there was a pretty big trade while that was happening while I was playing the rebuild, and it was for the Dubs getting Jimmy Butler. To be honest, I didn't want Jimmy Butler, especially when um I was hoping for Kevin Durant or even Bron. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy with the trade. I think it kind of helps us, and I'm happy that this part happened. That we got an agreement to, and he signed with us for 2 more years. He should be happy about that, but he's got to play good, which I think he will. He's done a lot of good things for the Heat. Um, and who we gave up, I really do feel bad for Wiggins. Hold on, let me get a drink of water. Wiggins, he balled out for us in that 2022 finals season, and then he had some health problems. I think his dad died or something, and you know, it people go through mourning and like death different ways. So I don't blame him for being out. But he did have a couple off years. He did seem to get it back together this year, but I think we would have had to pay him this offseason. And I mean, I'd rather have Butler for 52 million than Wiggins for 30, if that makes sense. Slow mo, Slow mo was one of those good additions that I kind of liked. At first, I was like, really, but um, it's all right for him to go. Um, yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. He didn't play that much. He was all right, pretty decent. And then sorry, I was just finishing reading it. Dennis Schroeder. I don't even know why we traded for him in the first place. I know you want someone healthier, but D'Anthony Melton, I I would have just waited until next year. I think he would have been good. Dennis Schroeder did nothing for us, and why would we get a guard who can't really even shoot the three ball like that? Um, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with him leaving. I was hoping he would be left or be gone, but now he's gonna go off for 30, playing for the Jazz. Um, and then this first round pick. I mean, you see the Warriors draft picks. They're not look at Kaminga's good. He's getting better. Moody was good, but they don't play them ever. So this first round draft pick, he might have not been anything until 2028. Um, which I think we really do need it. Definitely now. Butler and Curry, they don't have that much left. Even Dre, but I don't know about Dre. You know, um, just talking about Draymond and Butler, I hope they see eye to eye because I could see Draymond getting into fights with him, but um, I hope not because honestly, I kind of like it because Butler has helped a lot of his teams win, and I think he can help us now that he got everything good. He should be well rested. Um, and then Lindy Waters, he was all right. He probably would have been pretty decent for us in the next 2 or 3 years, but we don't have 2 or 3 years to wait. Yeah. All in all, I think it's an okay trade. I wish it was a little bit better. However, um, or we got someone a little bit different. I kind of wanted KD, but you know what? It's fine. I I bet you it's probably weird for Kevin to leave, and he was already hated on when he came here, because I mean we were the greatest team, greatest regular season team of all time, and then he joined and we won two. Um, but yeah, I understand why Durant wouldn't want to be here, but I am happy we got Butler. Now I'm gonna go react to Flight's reaction. Let me see if it's up. Okay, it is up. I think this should be pretty comedic for all of us, And also, I know he's a big Warriors fan, so let's just check it out.
In 1984, Nike created the revolutionary Air Jordan.
Flight team stand up! Breaking news! Breaking news! Jimmy Butler has finally found a new team. Y'all spamming the notice. He will be joining the Golden State Warriors. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna sit up here and fake the funk. I don't even know how I feel about this, bro.
Yeah.
At this point of what we've seen of Butler, of Jimmy, going through these last, 3 weeks, he's been suspended 3 different times, bro. All right? Not even that, I honestly would have been comfortable.
The only thing about that flight is that it's because he wanted to get paid. And he wanted off the team. That's the only reason, so I'm fine with suspended. He'll be fine.
With this trade being done by December, but I need to know where Jimmy's head is at, bro.
I think he'll be fine.
We have a group of people telling me thank you, because maybe I may have just had the influence of the Warriors finally getting some type of damn motion in the trade, you know what I'm saying, season. All right. This is breaking news. I literally just woke up from a nap, man. The Miami Heat are finalizing a deal to send Jimmy Butler to the Warriors for Wiggins of Andrew. Dennis fumbled the bag, Scrotum. Bro, Scrotum lasted on the Warriors literally 100 hours, bro. Anderson slow-mo and a protected first-round pick. Wow, bro. Wiggins is really gone. Now, it's kind of mixed emotions when it comes to having Wiggins gone. Wiggins was part of the championship run in 2022. Over the past 3 years, he has been on and off the basketball court because of, personal family issues or injuries. But when Wiggins is fully there, he's averaging better than 16 points per game. To be honest, and I'm not even trying to sound offensive, I can care less for Scrotum, you know what I'm saying, being gone. Anderson Slow-Mo had some good moments when I would react to the highlights, but let's be honest, bro, was he really that significant of a piece of a Warriors? You know what I'm saying? Now, if we're being honest, it's really we're losing Wiggins, you know what I'm saying, for Butler. Now, when Butler's fully there and conscious and stuff like that and healthy and not trying to be dramatic, Butler is an all-star, you know what I'm saying? I think, obviously, he is slightly better than Wiggins. Butler was part of that championship, the Heat team in 2020.
He's literally said
they made it to the third round or something like that. I don't even remember. But, bro, Warriors fans especially, how do you feel about this? There's been actually a lot of different trades that have happened throughout the entire day. Now. You know what I'm saying? That we need to actually cover. Such as the Wizards were involved in a trade today. Trading Valanciunas to the Sac Kings for a half-eaten bag of Lay's potato chips and 2 second-round picks. That's not it. I'm going to go back up there and scroll up. I just want to get this other trade out the way. Kuzma is now a member of the Milwaukee Bucks. He has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks for the Chris Middleton, a.k.a. Chris Wannabe Michael Red Middleton, dude. For you Bucks and Wizards fans, how do you feel about this? They're trading Middleton, a half-eaten double cheeseburger, and a pitch swap to the Washington Wizards for Kyle Kuzma. A piece of cheese.
Flight, bro. Patrick Baldwin was a Warrior. Come on now.
And a second round draft pick compensation. I'm gonna be honest with you, Kuzma. I feel like has just been awful these past couple of years. Maybe he might just get his spark back like how he had when he was with the Lakers and stuff like that. How do you guys feel about this trade? Now, going right back up, we can look at this too. The Celtics are trading Springer and their 2030 second-round pick to the Rockets. I'm going to be honest, I don't even know who the hell this is. And then we have the Pelicans are trading their center Daniel Theis and draft compensation to the Thunder. I don't even know who the hell this is. He looks like my assistant principal from 8th grade. Is that you?
Compensation to OKC. All
right, bro. Now, there is some damn drama /whatever you want to call it. According to Kevin Durant turned down the opportunity to play with the Warriors again. You have Malika Andrews and the Charizard dude giving the full scoop of it. Let's listen up.
The stand between the Suns, the Warriors, and Kevin Durant.
Malika, the Warriors have been seriously pursuing Kevin Durant over the last week, but sources tell me that Durant has no desire in a reunion with the Warriors. He does not want to go back to the Warriors, where he won 2 championships, won 2 Finals MVPs.
Crazy.
The Suns' position
The
in
Warriors like literally made his career, and they just want to shit on. He just want to shit on the Warriors, bro. Like, what do the Warriors do to you, kid? Other than Draymond, you should take it up with Draymond Green, bro. Not for the entire Warriors that literally like made your career in a way, bro.
Draymond's
like
there, though.
we got you multiple rings. You got a Finals MVP. You haven't won any Finals ever since you left the Warriors, bro. You know what I'm saying? Show a little bit more respect.
I don't
bro.
think it will.
all this has been to continue to build around Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, but due to their record, teams have been very aggressive calling the Suns. It's unclear where these talks go between now and tomorrow's deadline, but one
To be honest, like, if KD didn't go to the Warriors, like, I don't see what other team Kevin Durant at this point of his career is going to go. So you might as well just stay with the Phoenix Suns, bro. Like, it would just be silly for him to go to any other team. My TV right quick. What else? And then the Warriors, Butler has agreed to a new 2-year, $120 million extension with the franchise through 2026-27. Butler is declining his player option for his 2025-26 season for his new deal. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if this is such a good idea, bro. Like, the way Butler has been acting these past 2 months in the NBA, and then also he's up there in age, bro. You guys are paying him as if he's still, like, you know what I'm saying, the Jimmy Butler off the Chicago Bulls or Timberwolves or even the Sixers days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know about this, bro. Am I tripping? I don't know about all that. 2-month-long saga between Butler and the Heat ends in a trade to Golden State, one of the initial destinations. Now, I'm all for somebody getting that bag and stuff, but, you know, I just hope what the Warriors don't do is that they eliminate their other opportunities that they could have had to sign other players or make other trades because they spent way too much on Butler, man. I'm just, you know, kind of not in the, you know, I don't know about that, man. And then Scrotum is headed to Utah, Anderson to Toronto as part of a multi-team trade. Hey, Scrotum literally went, you know what I'm saying, from what, the Nets to the Warriors, and then now he's with Utah, bro, traveling across the world. PJ Tucker, headed to Miami. PJ Tucker sort of said Tucker and the Heat reunite. I didn't even know Tucker's still in the league. All right, let's go check out and see if there's any other, you know, outside extra clips. You know what I'm saying? How do y'all Warriors fans feel about this entire stuff, man? Let's check out NBA Chaz, and then we'll check out Smooth for the what's it called? The trade from earlier. 1 second, y'all. Let me turn off my alarm right quick. So I'm gonna edit all this out.
We'll edit it for you.
leaving Miami.
Phone alarm on. Your boy was taking a nap.
Jimmy Butler is finally leaving Miami. They have traded him to the Golden State Warriors for Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick. And it's crazy because the Golden State Warriors are about to play a game. There were a few players actually warming up out on the court, and Steve Kerr called them back into the locker room. And it was right when it was meant to be media time as well, and he actually locked the locker room so no one from the outside could get in. And then the trade obviously went down. So he was obviously informing the players that...
All I'm saying to Butler, you better become ready to play, man. You know what I'm saying? You have final experience, which is a good thing. But, bro, come ready to work and play, man. Leave all that drama at home.
The players are actually there. I know Andrew Wiggins might not be, but Schroeder, I think he was there. And he's also just came over from Brooklyn, so now he's got to go to Miami. But Jimmy, he wanted to go to Phoenix. He only indicated that he would sign an extension with Phoenix as he's a free agent at the end of this season. But the only way that Phoenix could get that done was if they traded Kevin Durant, because Bradley Beal obviously has no trade clause, and he didn't want to leave. He didn't want to get traded to anywhere. He wanted to stay in Phoenix. So now the Suns, I think they're going to run it back with the same squad as Jimmy Butler. He's on his way to the Warriors. They kept Draymond Green as well. There was a few reports saying that he might get traded, but I don't mind it. You get a legit second star next to Steph Curry.
I mean, hey, at least we didn't have to give up Draymond.
Is what the Warriors wanted. They wanted a legit all-star superstar to partner with Steph Curry. They get it. Jimmy Butler is going to the Golden State Warriors. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
Hey, man, how y'all feel about that? All right, then we got the Bucks trade.
Milwaukee Bucks are getting busy before the deadline. They're trading Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, and a pick swap to the Washington Wizards for Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin Jr., and a second-round pick. This is a weird trade. It really is. It doesn't really do much.
I said the same thing, bro. Like I don't know. Like Kuzma and Middleton is just like
Bucks. it doesn't really make them better.
Right.
Maybe the Wizards actually win the trade. Ever since the Bucks traded Drew Holiday, they kind of lost their identity. They're not really a good defensive team.
Damn, that is low-key true, bro. Is that why the Bucks are struggling?
It's just kind of like, and now...
No, I do remember we was roasting Drew Holiday back then, but yo, the Bucks definitely were a lot better when they had Holiday on the team.
Rid of Middleton for Kuzma. Kuzma doesn't play defense. His offense is okay. It's streaky. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. So they didn't really improve. They didn't really help their situation. It's almost like they're just shuffling contracts around. And I guess it depends, who do you like better? Would you rather have A.J. Johnson or Patrick Baldwin Jr.? Chris Middleton hasn't been the same since his injury. He used to be a superstar when he wanted to be, when he decided to be. But the injury definitely slowed him down. He still does good things. His defense, it's decent. It's not as good as it was pre-injury. His offense is okay as well. It's up and down. It's streaky. So I don't really know. I don't know if Kuzma is a better fit. This is just an odd trade all around. It really is. Maybe everybody's losing their mind after watching the Luka trade happen because the Mavs made another trade. And
the Doncic and AD caused
that
chaos.
That would really make sense. Where they got rid of Grimes for Martin. That was another questionable trade. So maybe that's giving some confidence to all these GMs. They're just letting these deals fly. So get in that comment section. Let's hear from Bucks fans and Wizards fans. What do you think about this trade? Who won this trade? The only thing I can think of is maybe the Bucks have another trade coming. They're trying to set something up here, but even that doesn't really make sense. It seems too complicated. But I guess we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Shout out to Smooth on that. I did want to see one other clip and now to wrap it up.
Luka Doncic was
we got Doncic is shooting shots with LeBron and Reeves at his first official Lakers practice.
His first Lakers practice today, and he was getting shots up with Austin Reeves and LeBron James, something Lakers fans I know would love to be seeing. And ESPN have actually changed their broadcast schedule. They've changed it from Suns Jazz, which would have been Friday night, to Lakers Pacers on Saturday afternoon in anticipation for Luka Doncic's debut, which isn't even guaranteed either, but that is when it is expected. And during his first practice as well, he was doing Luka things. He hit a half-court shot. But Dorian Finney-Smith, in his interview after the Lakers practice, actually took a little shot at the Dallas Mavericks, who made some comments about Luka Doncic's conditioning. Here's what it was.
We don't like when things went down. I thought he definitely got to but I'm happy with my side now. When you're shooting, I think let's start like conditioning down the line after the freshman. Like, how did that land with you? I know we want to play the whole game. I think he played like 40 minutes every game last playoff. So that's one thing about him. He wants to play too. I don't really look at the noise. I look at his production. He produces. If I'm putting some type of numbers, maybe I need to be 270.
So they were talking about his weight. A lot of people speculate that around the league that they feel like Doncic is a little bit too overweight, trying to almost in a way give him the same treatment how they do Zion. How do y'all feel about that?
If I had concerns, I would waive my no trade clause. What about it?
And this, you still feel like you said earlier this year, right? You still envision yourself finishing your career here.
That's something that I'm here right now. I'm committed to the Lakers organization. I'm here to help Luka and Maxey make the transition as smooth as possible. Smooth being here before, so he already know we about won a championship with him in 2020, so I ain't worried about him. But as a leader of the team, one of the captains of the team, it's my job to make it seamless as possible.
I just don't know.
All right, man, that's going to cap it off. Y'all comment down below. Does this help my Golden State Warriors officially get to the NBA championship?
All right. Warriors trade. I know I can't really watch any of these. Jazz NBA. Kenny for real? I'll watch Kenny. This will probably be the last video.
The new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings
Don't worry
box.
about the sad.
Only at Taco Bell.
2 acts? They tripping. They're tripping. Sorry, guys. We upset. The Ohio State. To the nation. Alright, this is the last video. We're gonna speak.
Listen, I'm happy I waited. Jimmy Butler got traded like 10, 15 minutes ago. I was like, it's got to be more to this trade. It's got to be more to this trade. I put my hat on because, you can tell I need a shape up. I was just waiting. I need more details. All the details out, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy Butler got about 90% of what he was originally asking for.
Sorry.
He requested a trade what feels like 6 months ago. In reality, it was about a month ago. And one of the reasons he requested a trade is because of the contract situation, which we're gonna get to. He got about 90% of what he wanted. He's been suspended 3 different times. There was even this fake promo or this fake media push that the Miami Heat, they don't have to trade Jimmy. Actually, the players said they want him back. No, that was just so people could pick that phone back up and get a little bit desperate. And some team got desperate, damn it. That team is the Golden State Warriors. Here's the details of the trade. So it is Wiggins, it is Schroeder, who keeps getting passed around the league. Kyle Anderson in the first round pick. That's not it though. Because again, I waited for it. Because I looked at that, I was like, there's no way that's all of it. Well, no, it's not. Dennis Schroeder is gonna go to Utah. Kyle Anderson is going to Toronto. So instead of it being a 3-team trade, because I ain't even mentioned that Lenny Waters and Josh Richardson is going to Detroit. It's a 5-team. It's a good old 5-team deal to get Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors. Now, I'm talking about team panicking. I think that's what the Warriors did. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing because I've been an advocate for the Steph Curry timeline forever. But I do believe that the Golden State Warriors definitely panicked on this one. Let's talk about it. My boy Lowe had a video that he posted on Twitter where he went over the 12 mishaps or misses that the Golden State Warriors have had over the last 4 or so years. It starts off and they have the 2nd overall pick and then the 8th, 7th overall pick, and they take James Wiseman, get well soon Wise, but he's no longer on this team. They take Jonathan Kuminga, then they take Moses Moody. Instead of trading for Pascal Siakam, who was available at the time, or trading for Bradley Beal, maybe that was a good thing considering what his contract is nowadays. They missed out there, and more recently they decided that Brandon Podziemski was untouchable in the Larry Marketing trade. They called for Paul George. Just over the last 24 hours, they were calling for Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant said, "Don't trade for me. I don't really give a damn to play for y'all." So it feels like they were like, we have to do something. We have to do something. And this is coming on the heels of basically Draymond, Steph Curry, and Steve Kerr going to the podium and said, we're not going to give up our future for one last swing. And they didn't give up a ton here, don't get me wrong, but they definitely are going for one last swing. And I think that is completely okay. Now back to the original point. Jimmy Butler got 90-something% of what he originally wanted. When Jimmy Butler formally requested a trade, he said he wants to get his joy back. He said he don't think it can happen in Miami and that he would play for all of the 29 other teams. That lasted about 2 hours because the Memphis Grizzlies picked up the phone and said, hey, we're interested in Jimmy Butler. Jimmy and company said, no, don't trade for me. It's not because he doesn't like Desmond Bane, John Moran, and Jaren Jackson Jr.'s basketball fit around him. I honestly think that would have been the best case, Jimmy. But it's because the Memphis Grizzlies were not looking to give Jimmy Butler the contract that he wanted. The Memphis Grizzlies looked at this as an opportunity to get off a little bit of money and allow them to re-sign Jaren Jackson Jr. on this nice extension because he's a fucking dog, right? He said, don't trade for me. If you're not going to give me the money that I want, don't trade for me. That same thing he said to the Golden State Warriors. Don't trade for me. I hear y'all interested. Don't trade for me unless you're going to pay me. And they absolutely did. The Golden State Warriors star Jimmy Butler has agreed to a 2-year, $121 million extension with the franchise through 2026, 2027. He's going to decline that player option for 2025, 2026. So he gets the bag that he originally wanted. And I guess the cool thing about this is that with this 2-year extension, it lines up perfectly with Steph Curry's contract and Draymond Green's contract. So when we say they're going for the one last hurrah, this is the definition of it, right? Now, I think one thing I do very poorly is I look at a trade like this, a big deal where a superstar or whatever you want to put, whatever caliber player you want to say Jimmy Butler is, and I look at it from 100,000 feet in the sky and say, hey, Jimmy Butler and the Warriors, more things happen? Oh no, Jimmy Butler and the Warriors, that don't make them a championship team. But so I have to catch myself there. Because while right now I do believe that's the case, that adding just Jimmy Butler to this roster doesn't make them a championship contender, I still think it gives them a better chance today than they did yesterday. And sometimes it's all it's really about. You know, we always want to look at these things from the bigger lens, and sometimes it's like, man, Steph Curry's struggling out there, y'all. He's seeing 2 to 3 bodies on a nightly basis. The shots, the open looks that he was able to create or get generated for him are no longer there, and he is having the hardest time of his career just getting off open looks. Jimmy Butler is a talent upgrade. Jimmy Butler, I mean, at the end of the day, the only real rotational player they cared about was Wiggins. Jimmy Butler is better than Wiggins. Just full stop. He's better than Wiggins. He's a better cutter. He's a better passer. He's a better in the post. He's better across the board. The only thing Wiggins probably has at this point in 2025, he's a better defender than what Jimmy Butler is. But Jimmy Butler is still a good defender. He's just not the all-defensive caliber player that he was 7 years ago. So it's a talent upgrade. Jimmy Butler is going to be respected. And the thing about Jimmy that makes it tough is that I just feel like his counting stats right now, 17 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Cool. That's not anything super crazy. The one thing that is super interesting about Jimmy is the efficiency numbers, because I do believe that Jimmy Butler has been phoned in.
Don't worry about it. We're skipping it. We get to skip it.
So I was dating this guy, Chris, for a year.
It in all season long because he's been waiting for this time to be traded. There was a couple games early in the season where he had back-to-back games with 7 shots, 8 shots. That's not Jimmy Butler. But at the end of the day, he didn't like what Spoelstra was incorporated with Tyler Hero being the guy. And he also didn't like what the hell Pat Riley was saying behind the scenes. So he kind of did this on-court boycott. And at some point, it got him benched in back-to-back fourth quarters. So I can't look at Jimmy Butler's counting stats and be like, man, that's just a small upgrade over Wiggins, when the reality is it's a significant upgrade. It's been a minute since we've seen Jimmy Butler be at the peak of his powers, right? I think it was 2022, right? 2022, we seen Jimmy Butler put that backpack on and say, hey, I'm him, right? I do think that part of Jimmy Butler is still in there somewhere, and they're banking on him being able to really dive deep into that and allow him to do that with the Warriors, right? Jimmy Butler gives them a whole different look offensively. Like, Steph Curry is one of the greatest point guards of all time, but I love when Steph Curry doesn't have to be the I'm going to bring the ball up type of dude. Jimmy Butler has capabilities to be the point forward, if you will. Him and Draymond on the court together might be a little interesting when it comes to the spacing, but they're having times throughout Warriors history because Steph Curry is such a lethal threat from three that he kind of counts as 2 floor spacers in one. So I'm not thinking about, I already see people saying the spacing limit ain't going to be interesting, and it might be interesting, it might not work, but I look at who Steph Curry is, I say his spacing is enough so be it to kind of cover up the lack of shooting, even though Jimmy Butler has been at least an average 3-point shooter over the last couple of years on low volume. I don't hate this. Again, it doesn't turn them into a championship level team, but when I look at their payroll, I say, hey, you know, let's look at this payroll, right? And this is pre-trade. So, like, Wiggins obviously gone, Schroeder's obviously gone, Kyle Anderson obviously gone. You know, they traded Lindy Waters, so they traded a lot of different stuff.
Mil.
And I don't know if they want to gut things completely, but I look at Kevon Looney, who's been there forever, but expiring contract, $8 million. I look at Gary Payton, who makes that number, quick math, about $17-some million. I look at Potts. Like, if you really wanted to go out there and get a floor space in 5, I'm watching one on my TV right now. His name is Nikola Vucevic. They'd already been in conversations with Vucevic anyway, but they pivoted away in order to make something like this happen. And there's a world where they could do both. Now, I'm not saying this is what they're going to do. I did get a text that said the Warriors aren't done. But that doesn't mean that they're going to go get an all-star. It doesn't mean they're going to get a superstar. But there's a world where they also make another move or two. They do play tonight, and they just gave up like 5 players. So I don't know who the hell play tonight. But again, from the top rope view, it doesn't make them a contender. But I also don't think that really matters at the end of the day. We still have no report on what the protections on that pick is, so maybe it ends up being something interesting. But as of right now, that pick is just what it is. It's just a pick. Miami is working through the resolution with Kyle Anderson. Toronto portion fell through. He could say or be moved on. A massive deal with many moving parts. Okay. Because PJ Tucker's back in Miami too, I guess. I guess that just happened too. So again, upgrade is good. Maybe not great, but the upgrade is good. Now, I look at the other side of things. You think about Miami not having nearly any leverage in this deal. I think they walked out smiling. Like, Andrew Wiggins is a really good basketball player. I know he's an all-star a few years ago. He's not going to do that anymore. But, like, let's look at just the counting stats as of right now. Wiggins is 17.6. He's 4 rebounds. He's 2 assists. And he's shooting 38% from 3. I've watched a lot of Miami Heat since Jimmy Butler's been gone because I like Kel'el Ware. I like watching Kel'el Ware. And I like watching Bam Adebayo when he's got it going. They desperately could use another bigger wing. And Wiggins being 6'7", defensive, I'm going to say mastermind, but he's definitely a good defender. He's the type of player that I think fits. I'm not going to say he culture. That's dead to me in a way. Maybe because they put it on the jersey, put it on the floor. I hate the term he culture. But he fits the type of player that the Miami Heat would like. I think he fits well with Bam. I think he fits well with Tyler Herro. I think this is, again, given that Jimmy Butler had been sabotaging his trade value for the last month or so, this is a really good pickup for them. And then you also incorporate the fact that they do get the first round pick, whatever the protections are. It's a good deal, Pat Riley. And Pat Riley has slept through the deadline a couple different times over the last couple of years. This was one of the years where he wasn't able to do that. And he did trade Jimmy Butler away and get back something of value. Even if you don't see Wiggins as a long-term fit alongside Tyler Herro and all of those things, Wiggins, again, is a damn good player. And if you wanted to move him to his next team, I'm looking for his contract. He's got next year at $28 million and a player option for $30. It's not a bad contract for the type of production that Wiggins pulls out there. So I like this from the Miami Heat perspective, maybe a little bit more than I like it from the Warriors, because, again, they're not going all in to win a championship. Like, I don't look at the ceiling of the Miami Heat any differently. But I do think this is a team that should make the playoffs. And they continue to develop some of the younger players and continue to let Tyler Herro develop as an all-star, get Bam back in his offensive stuff. I don't mind this whatsoever. And the Detroit Pistons bringing in Lindy Waters. I thought it was really interesting that Lindy Waters ended up with the Pistons and not just sticking with Miami. When you think about the way the Miami Heat like to play basketball, I just typed in Miami trying to type in Lindy Waters. Lindy Waters, so far this season, a 33% three-point shooter, but he has been a league average shooter for the majority of his career. I just find it interesting that he didn't find his way there. You know, maybe they look this year like, no, we'd rather just not have to pay this kid because he has not been able to shoot this year. Where he's at $2 million. I would have just taken that. But whatever, he goes to Detroit, and Detroit becomes facilitators. I think one loser in all this is we got to talk about the Phoenix Suns, right? Because it got so weird, right? Because the Phoenix Suns were obviously interested in Jimmy Butler. At one point, Brian Windhorst reported that the Suns had called all 29 other teams across basketball trying to find somebody to take Bradley Beal's contract, and not a single team was really interested for good reason. That contract is awful. So it ended up shifting to the point where it was like, there's a trade talk where Kevin Durant ends up with the Golden State Warriors, and Jimmy Butler ends up with the Suns. What sense does that make? So it leaves the Suns as a team. What are we talking about standings-wise for the Suns? Because it has not been. I watched them get their ass buzzed by the Trailblazers twice this week. So they're sitting at 1 game above 500. You have to really question what is the overall outcome or the overall goal of this roster. I think the good thing is, for the Phoenix Suns perspective, is that you don't have to make the decision before Thursday, 2 o'clock Central, right? You don't have to trade Kevin Durant this week, but you have to now start thinking, man, this was unequivocally a failure. We're 2 games over 500 with this big 3 that we created with no future assets. We might have to go the other direction. And they still do have new owner syndrome, so I don't know if Matt Ishbia will ever be like, yep, y'all absolutely right. Let's trade Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets, get all of our picks back, and then we can, start to rebuild around Book. Because there was also a report that they retain calls, right? They retain calls on KD. that the only person that was safe on the roster was Devin himself. So I don't know what this means for them. Maybe they even try to pivot, but I don't think there's any other bigger names available. But damn it, I didn't expect Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic to get traded for each other, so nobody knows what the hell is going on. I hope they trade for Vucevic. Not the Suns. I'm back on the Warriors. I hope the Warriors trade for Vucevic because he fits the timeline. He's got the same amount of years left on his contract. He's about 30-something years old. Just like the rest of the guys on the team. Go get Vuce. All right, I don't.
Kenny, why do you want us to get Vucevic? Is he bad? Is Vuce not good? I don't like that.
Well, like overall grades, y'all let me know in the comment section.
All right. Shout out to Kenny. Kenny's a real one. Kenny for real. Go watch his rebuilds. Go watch all his channels. They're all great. Yep. That's it for it, YouTube. That was my reaction. That was me reacting to other people's reaction. Check it out when it gets posted. Let me know in the comment section what you think below. Yeah. And then pop out to the stream sometime.